Hey guys, welcome back to Explore KC. Kansas City is a growing city, more on that in a minute, but in this video we're going to talk about the 7 reasons why you should move to Kansas City.
All right, so our first reason of why you should move to Kansas City. It is a very growing populous city. So Kansas City is actually ranked 36 in total metropolitan areas in the country. And of that, it's actually the 6th fastest growing. The reason being, downtown Kansas City used to be a very industrialized commercial area. And as businesses have left to go to the suburbs or left to go more online or work from home, a lot of these office buildings have actually been converted to condominiums, allowing more affordable housing in downtown area.
Yeah, a lot of that also has to attribute with bringing in a lot of attraction to the downtown area.
That's
so
right.
Things like Power and Light District, that used to be office buildings. And when they became vacant and run down, developers looked at that as an opportunity to give traction.
Same thing with Sprint Center, T-Mobile Center. That hasn't been around. Definitely it's been in our lifetime. Kansas City used to have a arena, but it wasn't downtown. You had to drive to get there, and it didn't really attract much. So bringing in that over the last 20 years has also led to our growth.
Bottom line is the downtown area is becoming more and more attractive to actually live and work downtown. So not only are there plenty more opportunities for living with apartments and condos, things of that, you also have just a lot more to do. So that's a great reason why you should consider moving to Kansas City. All right, so the second big reason why you should consider moving to Kansas City is because we are making some major strides in improving our transportation.
Yes.
And this is kind of across the board. So one of the big things that is going on in Kansas City right now, or that just recently happened, is we just got a brand new airport. And we haven't been there yet. We plan to go there and give you the full rundown of what's going on there. But it is the talk of the town. We've seen photos. It looks incredible. It can be a little controversial, especially if you were a longtime local in Kansas City. We loved our old airport, mostly for its convenience factor. You could get in and out really easily.
So fast.
There wasn't much as far as attractions at the airport, like restaurants or shopping, things like that.
You wouldn't want to lay over there.
Right, but I mean, that was kind of the essence of it, right? If you can get in and out conveniently, maybe you didn't need all that stuff.
That's right.
But with the way that things change, we needed to evolve, and it was time for a brand new airport.
Yeah, and with being right in the middle of the country, a lot of airlines want to lay over here because it's easy to connect really anywhere from Kansas City. And so the new airport brought in, or is bringing in, not only more flights and more carriers, not only restaurants, but shops to buy Kansas City items or things that are about Kansas City that the old airport just honestly didn't have. Like, all you had when you went in there was like a Starbucks and maybe a tiny small restaurant that was always packed. So I have been through it from a return flight, and there's a ton more restaurants. There's even places to just grab a quick breakfast or a quick drink before your flight. So if you want to go hang out, it's actually a place that you can hang out, and it's not just a boring old airport that you never want to be a part of. So
yeah, so this will be a huge factor for people that are going to move to Kansas City and maybe have a traveling job, like a traveling sales rep, or things of that nature, where you're going to utilize the airport much more. It's also going to be a big deal for people visiting Kansas City, right? You've got an airport that is a destination that is a little bit more inviting and not so confusing and cold and sterile, which that's how a lot of people describe the old airport. Another thing that is being improved as far as transportation is the streetcar in Kansas City. We've had the streetcar for a while, and it goes in kind of the downtown hub. It is getting extended south all the way through to the plaza, where we have the UMKC campus. So that's going to allow a lot of these students and people that are coming to Kansas City to study there to really utilize more of the downtown area. So it's really going to expand the use of downtown all the way down to the plaza.
Yeah, and this will help with students that maybe are commuting, but maybe don't want to necessarily have to drive or have to find parking every day or pay for parking in college. I know that can be a bigger and bigger expense every year. So you'll be able to live really in any part of downtown and hop on the streetcar and go to class directly from that.
Yep, And then the last major improvement in transportation is our interstate system. If you look at Kansas City on the map, we have one major highway, the 435 loop, that goes around the city. This is really the thoroughfare that anybody in the suburbs of Kansas City utilizes to get around or into downtown Kansas City. The biggest improvement over the last decade is probably the Grandview Triangle. Kind of an ode to the Bermuda Triangle because it was just a nightmare to travel through. They totally reconfigured that, and it has worked. I mean,
and they've also expanded all lanes. So if you're going from, into downtown or out of downtown or other parts of the city that are big business hubs, there's really not that much traffic anymore. You'll have some for a little bit, but nothing. You're not going to be waiting hours at standstill traffic. All right, so number 3 on our list is Kansas City Chiefs and the excitement and really like city spirit that the Chiefs have brought over the last 5 years since they've been great. It's no secret that the Kansas City Chiefs have been good over the last 5 years, and it just helps the camaraderie. It helps the excitement and the friendliness around the city. It's the talk of the water cooler, and it always gives you something to do during football season.
Yeah, I mean, in the NFL, there's only 32 teams nationwide. To be recognized as one of the top dogs has certainly brought some attraction to our city. Sports is a major factor in a lot of people's lives, so being able to have some fun with our sports team has definitely changed the culture throughout the city. And it looks like we're going to have that for quite some time to come. Yeah, being a Chiefs fan is definitely a top reason to live in Kansas City because it is a lot of fun.
And you can come join the bandwagon. We don't care about that.
Patriots fans have been doing that for years.
Yeah, so we'll bring everyone. Come one, come all. We're not going to make fun of you because you just became a Chiefs fan.
Get your Mahomes jersey, get your Travis Kelce jersey, and join in the Tomahawk Chop. So the fourth point to talk about on why you should move to Kansas City is because we have a very low average cost of living. We're comparing this to nationwide stats, right? So Kansas City is actually 12% lower than the national average as far as affordability goes. Our median home price point is about $269,000 as of 2022 last year. So you see rising costs of living in big areas like LA and Chicago and New York, and we've actually seen a lot of people migrate from those areas into Kansas City because it's much more affordable. There used to be the days of if you were going to work for a large corporate firm, you had to be in those areas. Now with so much remote work and working from home, you don't have to live in those areas anymore. So we get a ton of those types of people moving to Kansas City. A little bit easier living, I guess you could say, less crowded.
And not to mention that lower starting home price, right? So you can find something here, a very good size 3-bedroom home for $270,000, depending on where you're looking in the Kansas City area. And if you want to get fancy, you can easily find something $600,000-700,000 that's going to get you a ton of square feet, 4 or 5 bedrooms maybe. It's going to be a lot more bang for your buck than it will be in your Floridas or your East Coast or your West Coast. So that's the beauty of Kansas City.
I'll never forget, my wife has a friend that lives in Seattle. She came to visit, and I live in a modest house, 3-bed, 2-bath. It's probably valued around $300,000 here in Kansas City. She walks in and she goes, "This would be $1.2 million in Seattle." I can't even fathom that. So yeah, your money goes a lot further in Kansas City.
Point number 5 on our list is Kansas City's expansive healthcare system. So we have tons of great hospitals. We have HCA, Truman Medical, Children's Mercy, and St. Luke's, all great hospitals and hospital systems. I think probably the most standout is Children's Mercy, which is our child hospital. I know I've spent time with my kids there. You've spent a handful of time with your kids there, and it's always top-notch service, great experience. And the other cool thing is Children's Mercy is a teaching hospital as well. So when you do have to go to the hospital, you have several doctors looking at your child and getting different ideas and figuring out what's wrong and how they can overcome that.
Yeah, it seems odd to highlight healthcare systems as a big, reason to move to Kansas City, but it's really important for 2 reasons. Not only A, if you're going to raise a family in the area, you've got tons of options of really top-notch healthcare. But B, if you are in the medical profession, whether you're a nurse, doctor, whatever, you've got tons of opportunity. One of the big things that we see in our industry with real estate is traveling nurse. So we have lots of opportunity, whether it's Airbnbs or just rental apartments downtown. This seems to be a really big hub for traveling nurses to come move here, live here for a short amount of time, and really work in some top-notch medical fields and learn and things of that nature. All right, so point number 6 of why you should move to Kansas City is the growing career opportunities that we have. Kansas City has kind of historically been a hub for trade, manufacturing, shipping, and logistics. But I think some of these larger corporations are starting to realize that not only is Kansas City great because of how affordable it is, not only can they buy and build cost effectively, they can also employ more people because it's so cost effective to live there. Also, it is centrally located. So you have things like Amazon, they've built a couple distribution centers here. They're building more. They've realized that they can ship out in their 2-day window to pretty much anywhere in the country. Another big one that is coming soon, I think they're in the middle of building it right now, is the Panasonic
battery factory
plants. So they're going to provide batteries to things like Tesla and other electric vehicles. Just due to where we are located in the country and how affordable it is, more and more companies are realizing this is a great place to either headquarter or build major distribution centers.
Yep, that's right. So the Panasonic is bringing in 4,000 jobs once that's up and running. And that doesn't even include the work that it's provided already to construction industry and really anyone that's involved in building a new building, all the jobs that it's created or maintained here. And then other companies like the USDA has actually brought in over 1,000 jobs in the last couple of years as well. So government work is also moving here. We have one of 12 Federal Reserve buildings or spots in the country. So that's also another hub for government jobs as well. So Kansas City is a hotbed for continued growth and continued employment opportunities.
Sure, and the healthcare industry is no different. Obviously, we have tons of healthcare opportunity. One of the major contributors to that is what used to be Cerner, which is like a health technologies company. They just got bought out by Oracle. Cerner used to be headquartered here. I don't know where Oracle is headquartered.
Yeah, Oracle's out in San Francisco, but
but anyways, they have a huge local hub here in Kansas City. So not only do you have tons of trade and manufacturing, you also have sales jobs, tech jobs, things of that nature. Kansas City is a very diverse city as far as the type of living lifestyle that you want to live. So on one hand, we've got a booming downtown area, which is great for single young professionals. You've got plenty of apartment and condo opportunities, plenty of job opportunities, and then lots of major attractions in the downtown area. Outside of downtown, you have a wide array of great suburbs for raising a family, mowing your grass, letting your dog out back, things of that nature. We've got more videos on that if you want to go back to our YouTube channel and check out, I think we have one that talks about
the top 3 suburbs of Kansas City.
Yeah, for raising a family.
Yep, that's right.
We are eventually going to do a video about downtown and living that lifestyle, so stay tuned for that. Also, if you want to know more, make sure you hit the subscribe button, the like button, drop a comment down below if you want to learn more.
Yeah, and as much as we love doing these videos for you guys, we actually would love to help you with your real estate needs as you move to Kansas City. So if you're wanting to look at investment opportunities, maybe purchasing an Airbnb or a long-term rental in Kansas City, we can help you with that. As much as if you're moving you or your entire family here, we want to help you with that. So if you have any questions on what it looks like financing a home in Kansas City or anywhere else, please reach out to me. Or if you want to go look at some homes or get an idea of maybe what a home for you would look like as far as price point in Kansas City, reach out to Curtis. He can give you an idea of what you're looking for and what that might look like in Kansas City.
Awesome. Thanks, guys. We'll see you next time.